Hello Year Ones, it's Miss Hocking here, and in our maths this week we are moving on from our addition and subtraction topic, and we are moving on to learn about shapes. Now, we did this in foundation, and I know from our independent learning time at the beginning of the year that you guys are really confident with your knowledge of shapes, so we're going to do a quick whistle-stop tour of it before we are back in school next week. So first of all, we are thinking about 3D shapes. We're going to talk about what that is a bit later on. But before we do that, I want you to tell me, what do you already know about shapes or shape? Do you know any shapes? Can you name any? What do you know about them? Pause the video now and have a go at that. Welcome back. I'm wondering if you can tell me what a 2D shape is. What is a 2D shape? Pause the video now and tell your grown up. Well done. A 2D shape is a shape that is flat. It means that you cannot pick up a 2D shape. It is totally flat. So if you can't pick up a 2D shape, what is a 3D shape? What do you think you can do with a 3D shape? Tell your grown up. Well done. A 3D shape is a shape that is solid. It is something that you can pick up in your hand, or you can pick it up however, okay? It is something that is physical that you actually can grab, whereas a 2D shape, you cannot pick it up. So, first of all, today, we're going to be looking at 4 key 3D shapes. First one is a sphere. Second one is a cube. Third one is a cuboid. And the fourth one is a pyramid. We're going to be looking at a square-based pyramid and a triangular-based pyramid today. So I'll put the triangular one here as well. So before we get going, you need to know some key language about these different things, okay? So I'm going to whiz through some different ways that we can talk about these different shapes. And then I want you to have a go at spotting some shapes. So the first word that we are going to have a look at today is edges. Now, I'm sure you know what I would mean if I said, come away from the edge of the road. You would understand. Now, when we're talking about edges in shapes, we are talking about when the faces meet. So, for instance, I've got an edge here. There's an edge here, whoopsie. And there is an edge here. Now there are also edges here that connect to multiple different parts of our cube. Now there are lots of edges on a cube, and what I want you to do is go and find one in your house and see if you can count the edges. Okay, that's your first thing to do today. So if you know what the edge is, then you definitely know what the face is. So the edge is where the faces meet. So again, you've got your cube. This is one face, this is one face, this is one face, and then there are faces that are hidden on my cube here. Again, maybe with your cube that you've got, maybe you've got an old box, or I don't know what you might have. Have a look, maybe it's a tissue box or something, see how many faces it's got. And then last but not least, I want you to talk about the vertices. And the vertices are basically these points here. It is the corners. They tend to be a little bit spiky on our 3D shapes. And that is when all of the corners come together. It's where the corners meet, okay? The corners of the faces meet the ends of the edges, okay? So those are our 3 key terms. Now, before we go any further, it would be really helpful for you to find some sort of sphere in your house. Maybe you've got a ball of some kind. You've already used your cube, so you should already have that. See if you can find a cylinder. It doesn't have to be one with a square end like this. It can be any, not cylinder, sorry, cuboid. It can be any cuboid like this. and see if you can find anything that has a pyramid. These are a little bit trickier, so do not worry if you can't find one. Here are some different examples of things you might find around the house. Things like an orange or an earth if you are looking at spheres. If you're looking for a cube, you might find a dice or a present. If you're looking for a pyramid, I mean, you probably don't have one of these in your house, but a pyramid in real life is the Egyptian pyramid. Maybe you've got a Toblerone or something like that. A cuboid, spelt like this, might be a cereal box or a loaf of bread. And another shape that we haven't come across today, but that you will need to know at some point during year one, is a cylinder. Maybe you find a tin can of baked beans, or maybe a toilet roll tube. And everybody's favourite, I thought we'd also have a look at cones. Now we all know this one, what a cone is. Might be a traffic cone, but oh yummy, it might be an ice cream cone. So with your pile of different shapes that you found, I want you to just have a conversation. You don't need to record anything necessarily about the different language that we have talked about today. So how many edges does your shape have? How many faces does your shape have? How many vertices does your shape have? Adults, I've put some little notes here to help you with those. So have a look at this picture, okay? Your first task is to have a hunt, just like we spoke about, and then come back to this picture, okay? In this picture, you will notice that there are some 3D shapes. Now you can see this boy down here is playing with some 3D shapes, and that's great, and they're very obvious, but there are some other 3D shapes that are also here. I wonder if you can name them. What do you notice? Because you've been on your shape hunt, you will know that some of our shapes have different properties. For example, excuse me, I hiccuped them. If your shape, you might say it has 3 faces and it has 2 edges. Therefore, I know that it is a cylinder. Okay? If you want to really extend your child, if you know that they are working at quite a high level, I would ask them to prove how they know that each of these shapes are each of the 3D shapes. You can also do that physically with your items as well. You've done your 3D hunt, and then this is your second task. What I want you to do is to use what you have learned and sort the real life shapes into the correct groups. So you've got this worksheet over here. I want you to cut out the shapes and stick them onto this worksheet over here to prove that you know which shape they are, okay? So for instance, I'm going to look at this shape picture of the ball, and I know that this ball here is a sphere. So I know it's a sphere, so I'm going to cut that out and stick it into my sphere column over here. Okay, they should all fit if you cut directly around the actual shape. Okay, have a lovely time doing that, everybody. Take care, and I will see you very soon. Bye.